Picture this. You're standing at a networking event, or maybe you're just trapped by the office coffee machine.
Oh no, the worst.
Right. You are stuck in a conversation that should have ended, like 10 minutes ago. Your smile is completely frozen.
Your cheeks actually hurt at that point.
Exactly. And your eyes are frantically darting around the room looking for an exit sign.
Just desperately calculating the social physics of escaping without sounding like a total jerk.
We have all been there. Yes, you listening right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
It is a universal, highly visceral, and, well, literally panic-inducing experience. And if you're feeling a little seen right now, let me validate that panic for you.
Please do.
You aren't alone. There's this fascinating Harvard University study that looked at this exact phenomenon, and they found that conversations almost never end when both partners actually want them to.
Wait, almost never?
Almost never. In the vast majority of social interactions, at least one person is completely hopelessly trapped.
Trapped in what the researchers call conversation purgatory.
Yes. That agonizing state of waiting for anyone, to throw you a rescue line.
But today, we're throwing you that line.
Mm.
We are basing this deep dive on an incredibly practical lesson from the English effect.
Highly practical.
And our mission today is to build you the ultimate audio vocabulary companion. Think of this as, like, an English survival guide for people who desperately need to escape a chat.
I love that. And we're going to keep this light, funny, and focused on everyday expressions. We want to give you the tools to protect your energy and keep your professional credibility entirely intact.
So no dense academic jargon here.
Not at all. Just real phrases for real awkward situations.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're going to call this first section Awkwardness Alert. Because before we even get to the specific words, we need to address the physical getaway.
Right, the body language.
Yeah, because if you just stand completely still in front of someone hoping they'll magically stop talking,
It never works.
it's like playing dead, like a deer in headlights.
Exactly. It's like social quicksand. The less you move, the deeper you sink into the interaction. That is such a great way to put it. Standing perfectly still is a massive conversational trap. You have to visually prepare for departure before you even open your mouth.
So how do we do that?
Well, body language expert Vanessa Van Edwards points out that we constantly broadcast subconscious cues. If you're standing squarely facing someone, nodding along...
Like an active listener.
Right. Your body is literally telling them, please keep going. I am available for the next 40 minutes.
Oh, wow. So how do we physically signal that the ride is over?
You start layering in subtle exit cues. First, you shift your weight slightly away from the person.
Okay, a little lean.
Yep. Second, you angle your feet toward the door or the hallway. Third, you open your body posture, maybe taking a half step back.
It's a gentle physical ramp up. You're visually revving the engine.
Exactly. So that when you finally speak, it doesn't feel like a sudden shock to the other person.
Right, you're laying the groundwork. And once your body is sending those signals, you need the right vocabulary. Let's look at our first expression block.
Let's do it.
The first one from our source material is the phrase to wrap something up. It's phrasal verb.
Yes, this is fantastic. The simple meaning is to finish or conclude.
And when do you use it?
When you want to signal the end gracefully, you just say, hey, let's wrap up.
But why does the word wrap work so well there? Like, what's the natural English tip here?
Think about wrapping a present. When you wrap something up, you are packaging it neatly, putting a bow on it, and finishing the job. Psychologically, it's perfectly neutral.
So you aren't blaming them for talking too much.
Right, and you aren't blaming yourself for needing to leave. You are just collaboratively concluding the event.
I really like that. Okay, expression number 2. It's the phrase to let someone go. As in, I know you're busy, so I'll let you go.
Ah, yeah.
Wait, I have to ask, doesn't that sound incredibly arrogant? Like I'm some sort of king releasing a peasant back to their duties?
I get why you'd think that, but it actually achieves the exact opposite. It's a polite, face-saving exit.
How so?
Because you are pretending that you are doing them a favor by leaving. You use it to frame them as a highly important, busy person whose time is incredibly valuable.
Oh, that is so sneaky. I love it. I'm not running away because I'm bored. I'm graciously releasing you back into the wild.
Because you're just so important, exactly. It completely flips the dynamic.
Okay, but you do have to be careful. Which brings us to section 2, the escape plan.
The dangerous part.
Yeah, dodging the credibility trap. What happens when you use a fake excuse? Like you panic and say, oh my gosh, I'm in a massive rush. I have to go to a meeting.
But then 2 minutes later, they catch you chatting with someone else just 5 feet down the hallway.
Ouch. I am physically cringing just thinking about that. Caught red-handed.
We call that the credibility trap. If your excuse is immediately exposed as a lie, you end up looking totally disingenuous.
You ruin the polite exit and damage the relationship.
Exactly.
So if I'm intercepted in the hallway by a notoriously chatty colleague, and I don't want to lie, but I actually do need to get to my desk, what is the move?
You need to utilize physical momentum. Conversation guru Deborah Fine has a brilliant strategy for this.
This is expression 3, right?
Yes. The phrase is simply, walk with me.
Just walk with me.
Yeah. The meaning is literally inviting someone to move with you. You use it when you're intercepted in the hallway, but you need to leave.
So for example, I'd say, walk with me. I'm heading to the office right now.
Spot on. The natural English tip here is about momentum. Psychologically, you are actively inviting them into your space, which feels very polite. But critically, you are not stopping.
So you just keep moving towards your exit point.
Exactly. So often, people won't actually follow you. They'll just finish their thought quickly as you walk away. You're rejecting the location, not the person.
That makes so much sense. You maintain your credibility because you really are heading to your office.
But you aren't trapped by the water cooler.
Now, expression 4 is a conversational strategy. The source material calls it the white flag structure.
Right. Think about a high-speed car race. When drivers see a white flag waving on the track, it signals that there is exactly one lap left.
Okay, so it means the end is near.
Ending a conversation graciously works the exact same way. You don't just hit the brakes out of nowhere. You wave the white flag.
And how do we structure that?
It has 3 steps. Acknowledge what they're saying, state your exit plan, and then crucially ask one final question.
Wait, if I am desperately trying to escape, why on earth am I asking them another question? Doesn't that just trap me longer?
It seems completely counterintuitive, I know, but people remember the end of an interaction more than the beginning. If you just state your exit and leave, it feels abrupt.
So give me an example of this in action.
Let's say you're at a conference. You say, I need to go grab a drink, but before I do, what was the absolute highlight of the trip for you?
Ah, I see. Giving them the floor one last time.
Yes, that's the tip here. You listen to their answer, you say, that sounds amazing, and then you naturally execute the exit you already announced.
It makes your departure feel completely natural, a planned finale rather than a rude interruption.
Exactly.
That is brilliant. Okay, so moving into section 3, useful if you're trapped. Because escaping Aunt Sarah at a holiday dinner requires a totally different vocabulary than escaping a toxic coworker.
Oh, absolutely. The holiday dinner table is basically a battlefield disguised as a celebration. You cannot use witty sarcasm at work the way you might with family.
Let's look at the family minefield first. Aunt Sarah leans over the turkey and loudly asks, so when are you getting married?
Expression number 5 is perfect here. It's an idiom, turn the tables.
Which means reversing a situation, right?
Yes. You use it to deflect nosy family questions with humor.
So Aunt Sarah asks when I'm getting married. I turn the tables and say, actually, next week. Didn't you get the invite?
Exactly. It's clearly a joke, it gets a laugh, and it signals that you aren't engaging with the nosy question.
But what if humor isn't appropriate? Some family members just double down if you make a joke.
Then you need expression number 6. We'll call it, check on the mashed potatoes.
I love this one. It's an everyday expression for a redirect.
Right. It means naming a neutral household chore. You use it when you need a bulletproof physical escape hatch.
Like saying, oh, I need to go check on the dessert table. The tip here is that nobody argues with dessert, right?
Nobody. Food logistics are universally respected.
Okay, but let's pivot to the office. Because you definitely can't tell your manager you're going to check the mashed potatoes.
No, please don't do that. At work, navigating social cues heavily spikes your cognitive load.
Cognitive load?
Yeah, that's the mental effort required to process information. When a coworker corners you with toxic gossip, your cognitive load maxes out.
You need a linguistic face-saving technique.
Exactly. Which brings us to expression 7. The phrase is, speaking of.
Ah, classic British phrase. It means a short transition connecting topics.
You use it to redirect toxic office gossip safely onto productive ground.
So, for example, someone is complaining, and I say, speaking of the platform team, have you seen the impressive new demo they shipped?
Boom. You've smoothly pivoted from negative to positive. And the natural English tip here, pause for exactly half a beat after saying, speaking of.
Just a tiny pause. Why?
Because it gives your brain a crucial microsecond to rest, reset your cognitive load, and firmly introduce the new safe topic.
That is so smart. All right, section 4, do not panic. We are entering the digital wilderness.
Yes. where the mute button is undefeated and cultural boundaries completely blur.
Politeness is a cultural moving target, isn't it?
It really is. Direct cultures, like Israel, Germany, or the Netherlands, highly respect a blunt pivot.
Because they value efficiency.
Right, but indirect cultures, like Japan, China, or Peru, require softened redirects. You need a gentle acknowledgement first.
Okay, let me ask you about a specific digital nightmare. Someone's internet drops on a global call. The audio is terrible. Shouldn't I just bluntly tell them, hey, your internet is bad?
Absolutely not. Telling someone their internet is bad is a professional slap in the face.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes. It feels like a personal critique. Instead, use expression 8. You cut out there or you froze.
They're phrasal verbs, meaning internet connection issues.
You use them to name a technical glitch without sounding rude. So the example is, sorry, you cut out there, you froze right after the budget.
Why does that phrasing change the impact?
Because you're blaming the neutral technology, not the person. And then you followed up with expression 9. Could you repeat that last bit?
Which is just polite clarification.
Exactly. It proves you were actively listening.
That is so much more diplomatic. Now, what if someone is just rambling and I need to interrupt before the meeting runs late?
Expression 10. Jump in with a quick question.
Meaning a polite interruption. Use it to manage your virtual clock, right?
Yep. Can I jump in here with a quick question? The tip here is the magic word, quick. It promises you won't hijack the meeting.
But what if I just have to leave the call entirely?
Then you need expression 11. A hard stop.
A great corporate idiom. It means a firm end time for a meeting. Like, I've got a hard stop at 2 p.m.
It implies another commitment is forcing you to leave, so it's not personal.
And finally, expression 12. Take this offline. Another corporate idiom.
Yes, meaning parking a topic to discuss privately later.
But wait, clear up the corporate mistake here. Does this mean hang up the call?
No, that is a huge mistake. Taking it offline does not mean hanging up. It just means moving a distracting topic out of the current meeting.
Okay, so a verbal parking lot. Got it. Now let's move into section 5. Say this, not that.
This is a rapid-fire section showing unnatural learner English versus natural conversational English.
Right.
Tone is everything here.
Okay, example 1. Let's say I want to leave. Not, I have to leave you now.
That sounds robotic. Say, let's wrap up.
Example 2. Technical issues. Not, your internet is bad.
Too aggressive. Say, sorry, you cut out there.
Example 3. Someone won't stop talking. Not, stop talking, I want to speak.
Obviously, don't say that.
Yeah.
Say, can I jump in here with a quick question?
Example 4. A coworker brings up drama. Not, I don't want to talk about this.
Say, speaking of say, and pivot to a new topic.
See how much smoother all of those feel.
It shifts the tone from adversarial to entirely collaborative.
Okay, we are in the home stretch. Section 6. The Awkward Conversation Survival Kit.
Let's pull this whole shebang together.
We get the 8 absolute best escape phrases grouped by purpose. Make it easy for the listener to pack their mental kit.
All right, first category. Leaving. You need, I've got a hard stop, and walk with me.
Second category, changing the subject.
Use speaking of, and let's take this offline.
Third, ending politely.
Pull out, let's wrap up, or I know you're busy, so I'll let you go.
And fourth, buying time or handing off.
Leon, sorry, you got it there, the Y flag method. Before I go, what was the highlight?
Consider the survival kit officially packed. Now it is time for the Can You Escape Challenge.
I'm ready.
Listener, try to mentally guess which phrase from our kit is the best fit. Situation 1. A coworker tries to drag you into a nasty rumor about team reorganization. What is your move?
Oh, toxic trap. Use the bridge phrase. Speaking of the reorg, have you seen the new platform demo?
Danger avoided. Situation 2. You are intercepted in the hall. You don't want to lie, but you really need to get to your desk.
Walk with me. I'm heading to the office right now.
Kept your credibility intact. Final scenario. Situation 3. Your boss is making a huge point on a video call, and their face freezes mid-sentence.
Blame the glitch. Sorry, you froze right after the budget. Could you repeat that last bit?
Nailed it. Listener, if you guess those, you have officially survived conversation purgatory.
And, bringing this all back to that Harvard study we discussed at the beginning,
Right.
mastering these specific exits actually dramatically reduces your anxiety about starting conversations in the first place.
Because you aren't afraid of getting trapped anymore.
Precisely. You can enter any room confidently knowing you have the tools to leave it.
That is such a powerful thought. Well, look at the time. I've got a hard stop approaching rapidly.
Nice one.
But before we gracefully wrap this up, if you enjoyed this deep dive, please take a second to hit the like button.
And share this with someone who might find it useful. We all know someone who is notoriously bad at escaping chats.
Definitely. And please make sure to subscribe and follow the English Effect so you don't miss future episodes.
Also, continue with the next how-to lesson to keep building that vocabulary and grab the free PDF workbook mentioned in the source material.
Yes, get that PDF. Ultimately, hitting the subscribe button right now is a much, much easier way to escape an awkward conversation than simply turning around and walking away in absolute silence.
So true.
So the next time you find yourself with a frozen smile, calculating the social physics of the room, you have the words. Use them. See you next time.